Hello everyone, this is the resource unit for the African American group. I'm Kristen Clean and my group members are Kristen, Blake, and Mark Orr. Talking about African Americans is learning about their learning styles. It's important to build their confidence with what they're learning, and to do that we're going to put them into groups while exploring Michigan history. Learning in groups allows for the students to gain knowledge and bounce the ideas off each other, but also gives an opportunity to speak their opinions and their thoughts without feeling like they have the wrong answer, because there is no right or wrong answer when no one really fully knows yet. So this gives them a chance to explore ideas and feel more comfortable sharing those ideas. The purpose of this unit plan guides students towards learning about Michigan history pre-statehood and engages students in the investigation of historic events in Michigan to help them draw conclusions concerning individuals who affected the history of the state. Learning about Michigan history is a year-long section of social studies. There are many lessons under Michigan history, but learning about the Native Americans is the first section of the year. This unit is looking at how Native American tribes are similar and different, how they lived, what gifts they have provided us today, and along with the fur trade. Below that, there are the GLICs, so feel free to check them out. Points of emphasis for each lesson. The first lesson will talk about how the tribes are here in Michigan. There are many different tribes, so we're going to investigate a handful of them as a group, but then we're going to break off into smaller groups and have each student investigate and learn more about that. The second lesson is what life was like for these tribes. They'll look into how work was divided between men and women, what they wore, how they gathered food, and so on and so forth. The students will then compare and contrast how life was then to life today. For the third lesson, we'll look at what the tribes contribute to us along the lines of storytelling, food, and inventions of names of places within our state. Some of the essential things we have in our life came from the tribes before the state even began. For the fourth lesson, students will learn about the fur trade between the French and the natives. This lesson will touch on how and why the French came to Michigan, but mainly how the fur trade worked and affected the natives' lives. Lesson 1, Kristen is going to do a presentation on that, on the lesson plan, but for a quick objective of it, the learner will be able to name the tribes within the 3 fires and the characteristics along with some other tribes. So feel free to check out her presentation, it's great. Lesson 2, the tribes. The learner will be able to compare and contrast how life was back then to life today. For this lesson, we will read about how the tribes lived before Michigan became a state. We'll look into the types of homes they lived in, what roles they had and who did them, how food was made and how much, who made the clothes and who fought the wars. After reading about these topics, the students will be accompanied by a guest speaker who is from a modern day tribe, and just kind of hear what he has to say about his life today and how they did it in the past. At the end, the students will make a Venn diagram about tribe life before Michigan became a state, today's tribes, and then also our own current lives. For this evaluation for lesson 2, the students will be evaluated based on how well they made their comparisons in their Venn diagram. They will be expected to do 3 similarities and 5 differences for full credit, and then from there on, points will be deducted based on how well they did that. Lesson 3 is about the gifts the Native American tribes contribute to our lives today. The learner will be able to explain how these tribes of long ago affected our lives, and this will be in the form of storytelling with the legend of the Sleeping Bear Dunes. This will also do with food. We're going to talk about what foods they contributed. Little examples are pumpkin and corn. Without them, we would not have those in our great state of Michigan. Also, we're going to talk about snowshoes and how they invented them to walk around. The students will actually have the opportunity to walk in these snowshoes and get a feel for them and see how this made life easier then and still today. And it's also a recreational activity that many enjoy in the snowy parts of the state. From there, we're going to learn about the city names of Michigan. There are many cities named after native names. So from there, like an example is Mackinac. Mackinac means great turtle. So if you talk about Mackinac Island, it looks like a great turtle sitting out in Lake Huron. We'll also learn a song that talks about some of the city names that they named. And then from there, we're going to do further research on those cities and what their names mean and why they're called that. Right there is the song that we would sing. If you want to read it, feel free. From there, our evaluations, the students would take a quick note quiz based off the notes that we took on what they contribute to our lives. It'll be a 15-point quiz, and whatever their score is, that will be their grade for that lesson. Alright, so the fourth lesson is the fur trade. This is when the students are going to learn about how the natives and the French started trading furs and how they interacted with each other's lives. We'll learn about it at first, and then the activity for this is that the students will make their own beads out of paper. Each bead will have to be the same but unique to them. With that, then we're going to split up the groups into the French and the natives, and they can't talk when they're trying to trade beads. So they're going to have to try to trade them, know how much each one costs, and so on and so forth, without being able to fully communicate. This will show the language barrier between the two. And then from there, each student will have a unique necklace, just how they did with the furs. The assessment for this, the students will then talk about their experience with the trading and not being able to talk. They'll turn into a 5-paragraph paper, and they're going to talk about how their trading experience was the same as their trading experience with the French and the natives. And the criteria is there for full credit. Finally, to the unit assessment, the students will be evaluated based on their combined projects throughout the whole unit. The students will create a portfolio of their work that they completed as well. The students will create their portfolio using the chapter book from Lesson 1, their concept map from Lesson 1, their Venn diagram from Lesson 2, and their paper from Lesson 4. After they've completed their portfolio, they'll write a short story about what they think their life would have been like if they were a Native American in Michigan at that time. This will be included in their portfolio as well. The final evaluation for this will be 50 points. Hope you guys enjoyed this resource unit, talking about African Americans working in groups while learning about Native Americans. If you guys have any questions, please let me know and put it in the comments. If not, hope you guys have a great end of the semester and a great summer, and good luck with your further endeavors. Good luck, bye!